This, as I'm sure you can tell, is the Desert Eagle Heat Treated, and in the past couple months, this has been an insanely popular and insanely controversial item, both in Counter-Strike, but also in the CS2 investing scene as well. There's so many people that have thought this is a no-brainer investment that's going to be able to make you so much money for X, Y, and Z reasons, and there's also other people out there who think this is a terrible investment and something you should stay very far away from, and obviously, eventually, one of these groups is going to be proven right, one of these groups is going to be proven wrong, but now that the Desert Eagle Heat Treated has been removed from the armory for just about 2 weeks now, I wanted to take a look at some of the updated prices, see what has happened in the last 2 weeks, and maybe we can start to evaluate or reevaluate some things a little bit. Today's video is brought to you by SkinPlace, an awesome site where you can turn your skins into money instantly and easily right now. All you got to do is click on the first link in the description below, then go to the site and sign in using your Steam account. You're then going to click on the skins that you want to sell, then go over to their payment method options like Sitebalance, cryptocurrencies, or PayPal, whatever method floats your boat, and then you're going to have an option to enter a promo code. If you use promo code GERM, you can actually get a 3% bonus on your first sale, so definitely go take advantage of that right now. Then click on Receive Money, go to the next step, and then they're going to send you a trade offer that you just need to accept and confirm on your Steam, and then your money's going to get sent to you a couple minutes later. It's that simple. It's that easy. Thank you to SkinPlace for sponsoring this video. So obviously I love talking about CS2 investing topics, and that's why the Desert Eagle Heat Treated has been so interesting to me over the past couple of months. Obviously it was in the armory for a little bit over 100 days, like 105, 110 days, however long it was. And in those times we got so many people and the community sentiment going up and down and up and down on it. When it first came out, people were like, oh my God, the Desert Eagle Heat Treated is going to be amazing. It's a limited edition pattern-based skin that's only going to be in the game for 3 months, and also you can't just buy them over and over again through credit card. You actually have to play the game to get them. Like there's no way that we're going to get enough of these to meet the demand and whatever, and once they get removed, they're going to skyrocket in price. They're going to be this amazing investment. But then as they were out kind of for a little bit longer, community sentiment I think kind of went back down as people were like, hey, there's actually a ton of trash patterns. Actually, so many of the Desert Eagle Heat Treateds look terrible. They look like worse than the default Desert Eagle in a lot of ways. Also, there's so many of these, even though they cost 25 stars, even though you have to play the game to farm them. One, we have like Chinese bot farms that are farming the Desert Eagle Heat Treated and creating so many of them, but also, yeah, it's limited, but everyone knows it's limited, and everyone knows exactly how limited it's going to be. So if you want to get as many of them as you can, and you want to farm all the blue gems and all the rare pattern, whatever, you have 3 months to do it. And right now, you know, we're hitting like player-based numbers of 1.6, 1.7 million. Hey, there's actually a lot of these things out there, and it's not that limited. And also, even though it's limited, it's not going to be used in trade-ups. They're not going to be a decreasing supply or anything like that. So the fact that we have these big numbers out there is pretty crazy. But then hype for them started to pick back up once again as they were getting removed. People were like, oh shit, you know, like, hey, they're actually getting removed now. This is really, really, really crazy. And then even though people did recognize there's a ton of Desert Eagle Heat Treated out there and, you know, whatever, people started getting on the blue gem train towards the end of being like, hey, yeah, there might be 500,000 Desert Eagle Heat Treated or whatever, but at least the blue gems look really sick and they're so rare and they're harder to get and blah, 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 blah. So we did get all over the place. Now, me pretty much the whole time, at the beginning, I was like, hey, Desert Eagle Heat Treated could be cool. But as I thought about it more, as I looked into the numbers more, I did come to the ending conclusion that I was staying away from the Desert Eagle Heat Treated. This is not something that I have invested in, not something that I think I will ever be investing in. And overall, I think it's something that, hey, you could maybe make some money on it. Yeah, at the end of the day, it is a limited edition item. Yeah, some of these do look cool. Yes, it is for a Desert Eagle, whatever. But to me, one, the average ones don't look good enough. Two, they have been way overhyped and way overpumped. And I don't know, to me, it's just not as interesting. And I think even if there's going to be some gains, I think there's better places that you're going to be able to put your money in the CS markets, but even better place to put your money in the armory in general. So it is something that I had been telling people to stay away from. And so far, I'm still feeling really, really, really confident in those predictions. So what I want to do in this video was take a look back to 12 days ago where I recorded this video as like a little bit of a time capsule to show us where the prices were on the day that the Desert Eagle Heat Treated was removed. So then we can kind of use that to see where prices go in the future. And not only did I look at the Desert Eagle Heat Treated, I looked at the different tier of like the blue gems and stuff like that to see those prices as well. So not only were Desert Eagle Heat Treated 12 days ago, before the Desert Eagle got removed, right before it got removed, factory new was $43, minimal wear was about $6, field test was about $3, well worn $1.50, battle scarred about $1.30. Now again, comparing that to today's prices, just 12 days later, Desert Eagle Heat Treated in factory new is $23. So from factory new 12 days ago to today has gotten almost cut in half, from $43 down to $23. That is very crazy. I hope you guys can see. I know that it's going to be kind of small and stuff like that, but hey, whatever. Maybe you got to go full screen, or maybe you can just believe what I'm telling you. The minimal wear price went from $587 to $276 today on float, or on buff. This is buff 163 prices. Field tested went from $286 down to $132, so has been cut in more than half. Well Worn has gone from $1.44 down to 80 cents, and Battle Scarred has gone from $1.33 down to 70 cents. So most heat treated prices have been cut in close to half just in the last 12 days. Now, hey, you might be saying, whatever, we weren't investing in just the regular Desert Eagle heat treats anyway. We don't care about these prices. We knew that these were going to be ass. We knew that, you know, the supplies were too high. There was way too many. This isn't what anyone was saying to invest, when at certain times, hey, maybe they were. But by the end of it, yeah, most people were saying, hey, we're going to be investing in blue gems. We're going to be even investing in specific pattern blue gems or whatever. But hey, I think in this video I did look at the actual different tiers of the blue gems as well, and we can compare some of those prices. It's going to take me a second to find it. We got to see where we actually scrolled through this. We can look at the tier 1 blue gems, and we can see here that at this time, tier 1 blue gem, the lowest listing was for a tier 1 blue gem on Buff 163 was $1,580, and we can look at today and see that the lowest listing there is $1,628. So those tier 1 blue gems are actually holding up okay, which maybe makes a little bit more sense now. That it is still a little bit surprising to me, but again, overall we are seeing Desert Eagle heat treated prices drop, but the blue gems are holding up a little bit better. Now, I don't know about all the different specific patterns, stuff like that, but in this video I also did look at pattern 69 because it is one of the most highly sought after patterns at the time. It's not seen as a number 1 pattern, but it's seen as like a top pattern, whatever. So the lowest price 69 at that time was $27.27, but this is also super liquid, so it's hard to get an exact price gauge and stuff like that. So again, we can look at pattern 69 here. It's easy to remember, it's whatever, and it has actually dropped a decent amount. There is 4 of these listed for lower than 2,700 right now. So maybe the tier 1 market overall hasn't dropped, or maybe it has. I don't know. It's a little bit hard to tell, but definitely some of these patterns have dropped. I don't know what the 490 was at the time, because I don't think I looked at the 490 in this video. Obviously, that's what everyone kind of considers that number 1 pattern. But yeah, I do think it's kind of interesting. And overall, I still feel really, really, really good about not investing in any of these Desert Eagle heat treateds, because like I said, at the time, I think a lot of these patterns were overhyped and overrated. Hey, we've seen the pattern 69. It hasn't dropped in 50%. You know, it's not like these are selling for 1,300 or 1,400, but this has dropped actually a decent amount, going down from 27 to 2,200. That is still a nice little loss. I don't know. It's about a 25% drop in the last 12 days. And again, these are still on a downward trajectory right now. If we go, you know, on Buff 163 and we look at something like Factory New, we go to look at the price trend, we can see over the past month, this has just kind of been dropping and dropping and dropping. Okay, oh, you can search the number in here. Oh, can you search a number in here? No, I don't think so. I don't think you can actually put the exact number, but we can see a price trend for just the tier 1s? Okay, so we can see a price trend for just the tier 1s. We can see like a month ago, let's look at right before these were actually removed on the 14th. They were averaging about $14.90 for tier 1s. Now they're up to about $16.41. So yeah, tier 1s are maybe a little bit flat, maybe going up a little bit. Depends what day you're looking and stuff like that. I don't think you can actually search the pattern itself. But in terms of all the Factory New, again, back about a month ago, Factory New in general was selling for about $65, $70, something like that. Now it's down to $23. So heat treateds in general have been dropping. Some of the different patterns are kind of staying flat, whatever. Again, we have 477,000 of these registered. So if you had been investing in just heat treated because they're limited, I think you are sadly mistaken. And even if you've been investing in blue gems, even though they're holding up a little bit better, again, most of those were held by investors and stuff like that. So it could be why they're holding up a little bit better also. But I still don't think blue gem heat treaters are going to be the best investment. Again, they are so damn expensive. And really, what do you think? You know, do you think a pattern, whatever? Let's look at the 490 pattern right now and to see the price. We do have the paint seed on that Factory New 490. This is kind of the number 1 pattern. I don't know why this says 6,000. There's no way that's listed for that. Oh yeah, 6,000. I was thinking 66,000 for some reason. So yeah, it's listed for like $6,000 right now. So again, for you to double your money on something like this, you'd have to go to $12,000, and even so, you know, it's not really feasible or logical or possible. These things are already so inflated, so hyped up, so pumped up, and this is just after they've barely been removed. Could these gradually increase in price over time? Yeah, sure, but to me, it's going to be way harder for these to have a significant percentage change or that significant percentage move over something like the gallery case, over something like some of the collection skins, over something like even charms or stickers from like the Elemental Craft collection. Now, hey, this is a good way to put a lot of money in the markets at once. You have a $6,000 item. It has a reason to be rare, whatever. No more of these will ever be created. But again, also no more of these are ever being destroyed at the same time. And you have to remember that even if we just look at like pattern 490, you will see that there is it's gonna say like 800 or 850 or something like that, 867 pattern 490 Desert Eagle heat treateds out there, and yeah, only so many of these are factory new. You know, you can see here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 I don't know, 20 25 30 factory new. So yeah, the factory new ones, yes, they are still pretty rare, but at the same time, my big argument, even with these blue gems, even with some of these ones, is hey, let's go to the tier 1 section right now and look at a couple different ones from these. Here is the pattern 96. This looks pretty damn blue to me. I don't know. This looks like a very, very good blue gem. And then let's pull up pattern 259. At first glance, I don't really know that I'd be able to tell the difference between these. And hey, again, it looks pretty dang blue. That looks pretty sick. Pattern 704. This one also looks very, very, very blue. I don't know. We can pull up the 490. And are we really going to see that much of a meaningful difference? Is it really going to be that crazy of a difference? To me, I don't know. If you showed me the 490 and you showed me some of those other ones back to back to back, like, I could be tricked. I could be confused. I could make a mistake. I don't know. And if I went in game with these, people would be telling, you know, it'd be hard to tell the difference between a lot of these. And even when you bump it down to something like tier 2, yeah, these start to have a little bit more purple. There starts to be, you know, maybe a little bit of a difference, but there's not a huge difference between the tier 2s and the tier 1s. Like, there just really isn't. And I don't know. I've never looked at tier 3s before, but I would imagine there's also, okay, so these I think do start to get a little bit worse. There starts to be a little bit of yellow, some more purple stuff like that. I would definitely easily be able to tell the difference between a tier 1 and a tier 3, but the difference between a tier 2 and a tier 1, to me, it's really tough. And the difference between the tier 1 patterns especially, it's really tough. Do I think, you know, that a regular tier 1 should be going for whatever it goes for right now, 1,600, and that a 490 should be going for 6,000? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Do I think any of these are going to have chances of doubling or tripling in price, you know, over the next couple of years? I really don't think so. I think overall, Desert Eagle heat treateds in general might just be too populous, oversupplied, overinvested, overhyped, prices overinflated, and you're already seeing the prices starting to drop on the normal Desert Eagle heat treateds, even though they're limited, even though you can't get them in game anymore, even though there should all be all this hype and excitement, whatever. So far, those people have been wrong, and I think over the next couple months, over the next couple years, I think some of those blue gem investors are going to start to realize a lot of the same things, that yeah, there's investors holding on to these. Yeah, the prices aren't dropping just yet, but I don't know. I don't expect these people to see a massive return on their investment. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm going to be putting my money in other places in the armory. And at the end of the day, we're going to see who makes more money, who ends up looking silly. I don't know. I hope it's not me. It could be, but at least so far, Desert Eagle heat treateds are dropping pretty fast, just a couple of weeks after they've been removed from the armory. But I think all this armory stuff, I think the heat treat, all this stuff is so interesting. I love having discussions and topics about like this, and just so many people have been asking me if I'm investing in heat treated, how many heat treated I own, if I have blue gems, whatever. And I just have one heat treated. It's one that I pulled from the armory myself for a video. But I don't own any other heat treated. I'm not investing in blue gems. I'm not investing in factory new. I'm not investing in any of them. And I feel pretty comfortable with that decision at this point. We'll have to wait and see. But it's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.